All right, so we are back live streaming, and I believe prior to the break, there was well over 70 people that had tuned in. So welcome to watching the Provincial Métis Council meeting. So we'll continue our discussion around this motion, and it's Minister Pruden Ansell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And yes, greetings to all of those who have tuned in. I have a couple clarification things, I think. I pulled up the minutes from November 18th, and the actual motion regarding the setting of dates for the PMC meetings from January 25 to November 18th, 25. Nowhere in this resolution does it say only 4 of these meetings will be in person. So that's my first clarification. The other one is in our Constitution, Article 2.1, it says, the Métis Nation Legislative Assembly, which shall be the governing authority of the Métis Nation, Saskatchewan. So I guess part of my request to the movers and seconders is to consider revising or amending the intended motion to reschedule the April 2025 MNLA to March 2025, giving an opportunity for our full governing body to address. I would also request that this resolution, whether it passes or fails, comes to the February or January 25th assembly to put before the assembly so that they can have a voice and say as to when the next MNLA shall be. I think it's imperative that the voices of all leadership, not just the PMC, but all leadership has a say in how we are transparently governing ourselves and how discussions are, there's every opportunity for discussion and input. So the first question was regarding the resolution from May 18th. Nowhere does it state that there are only 4 in-person meetings. And then, asking the mover and seconder if they would consider rescheduling the MNLA till the end of March 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. So is there someone that can speak to the May 18th resolution about 4 in person, or is it 4 virtually?
I can speak to that, John, but perhaps Richard can chime in as well.
Okay.
I'll put my video on. I think I'm. Can you,
clarification on that.
You can see. Right?
Yeah.
The scheduled PMC meetings were approved by the Provincial Métis Council. The schedule was sent out at the beginning of I believe the beginning of the fiscal year, and it was agreed that we would have the scheduled PMCs half virtual and half in person for budgetary impact. And that was the schedule was approved by the PMC, but I will defer to Richard to confirm that.
We're just Legislative Services is bringing it up. If we'll be able to get back to the council momentarily.
Okay, and I can also respond to Minister Pruden Ansell's request.
Yes.
To amend the resolution. I am not prepared to amend the resolution due to budgetary impact of moving the MNLA. It would be a moot point if we're canceling the MNLA due to risk management. Then I stand by the original resolution. Thank you.
All right. Mr. President has also refused to amend the motion. Okay, thank you. All right, we'll get that. Once Leg Services has that answer, we'll get it out there for you, Minister Pruden. So next on the speakers list is Minister Friesen.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to reiterate the purpose of this resolution, of course, is because of fiscal responsibility and fiscal management, and the budgetary impact that it will have and has had on this budget. It and I'll refer back to an original a previous comment of Matt Vermaat. It's not ideal that the MNLA sees the budget in November, but it has we've had delays in that budget because of the budget exercise itself. And the information we were receiving from affiliates was delayed, and I believe that was last year or the prior year. So it's not ideal, but it can happen. Operations will happen. Administration still happens. Just because the budget hasn't been approved doesn't necessarily mean we're going to halt operations. And I just wanted to point out, you know, my colleagues around the PMC, you know, they have made mention of, you know, governance and the importance of good governance and the importance of ensuring that citizens receive information on the government of Métis Nation Saskatchewan, primarily when it comes to fiscal management. Let's not forget what happened at the Fall Legislative Assembly and the filibustering that happened on important information. We could not even agree on an agenda, and there were folks who were silenced because of the amount of time it was taken up by certain individuals around the Legislative Assembly floor. I agree everyone has an opportunity to speak and have an opinion when it comes to the business of our government. However, not all of us did. We did not get through the business of the day. Therefore, the annual General Assembly, the assembly of our citizens, had to be canceled because we could not get through the business of the day due to the stalls, or whatever you want to call it, at the Fall Legislative Assembly. It's unfortunate, and we're still kind of we're still trying to do some damage control around that. So it's really important that we remember the reason why we didn't get through the business of the day. The other point I wanted to make was on the Louis Riel Cup.
We just need you to speak to the motion here, Minister.
Okay.
Louis Riel Cup is not part of this motion.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to confirm. It's partly due to fiscal management and fiscal management risk as well, Chair. We've not committed. M&S has not committed funds for that. We fully support fund development for that event, and just to assure folks that M&S has not committed funds to that event. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. President McCallum has withdrawn his question, so Secretary McCallum.
Thank you. I just want to bring the attention to the Elections Act Section 21(3), in regards to the writ, and regards to the because it refers to the assembly and the purpose of the MNLA. The nomination period 3, a nomination period must be made by filing nomination papers at the office of the Chief Electoral Officer anytime between 9 a.m. on the 35th day before Election Day and 2 p.m. on the 30th day before Election Day, which records April 19th, which is the first day of the writ, ending on April 24th. So that's our nomination period. And then I want to refer us to section 28 on the election date. Election date shall be the day fixed by resolution by the MNLA, which we are proposing from our resolution on page 3 of 8, made by Loretta King and Marg Friesen. Whereas the Métis Provincial, the PMC has recommended that the date of the MNS election be set for May 24th, 2025. That resolution was carried. And then on section 43 of 4, time of vote in the office of the returning officer, commencing on the 15th day before the election day and ending on the 8th day before election day, but not including Sunday, which is May 9th to May 16th, 2025, following under 44, holding an advance poll. An advance vote must be held in each region on the 7th day before election day at such polling stations as the chief electoral officer considers necessary, which is May 7th, 2025.
So, sorry, Secretary McCallum, are you talking about the Louis Rail Cup? Because this is not.
No, I'm talking about setting the election because that's what we're going into the MNLA for.
She's talking.
And so therefore, anything between April 19th to April 24th, starting on April 19th, nobody in office shall be included on any activity, because that's what we're arguing on the point of the MNLA not being in the month of April. And so the other point I want to make is in regards to the accountability and transparency of putting on an MNLA of what we're talking about again. This shows that MNS are now operating with zero accountability and transparency to the Métis citizens. And where's the democracy? Is that part of the oppression? Does it give over more control of the dollars for the next year? Where is it going, right? Because we hear the minister talking about accountability, about the finances, about making the right decisions for our people in this province. It's not showing that. And again, once again,
to the
once
motion,
again,
Secretary.
we talk about fiscal responsibility. We haven't had a General Assembly. Again, referring back to our Constitution, we have not held one in this 4-year term.
We've already addressed the AGA issue, Secretary. So
this is part of it, you know. And so with those 3 points, I want to make sure that our citizens that are listening out there are very clear of what's going on. And so again, I speak against this motion.
thanks, Secretary McCallum. Women President, Ms. Langen.
Thank you, Chair. First off, I just like to say, and this is my own personal feelings, that I was never in favor of virtual MNLAs. But I do have some concerns, and I have a question, a couple actually. So what happens if we do not convene this special virtual assembly? Secondly, after listening to Minister Friesen, I was very concerned in her statement about the funding and stuff like that, about still being able to operate. To me, it sounds like that we're going to be operating and spending money that has not been approved by the MNLA. Like the budget needs to get approved. How do we go ahead and spend money? To me, that doesn't sound legal, and that kind of worries me. So I just would like those 2 questions answered. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I respond, please?
Matt's going to respond.
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Minister. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, President Langen, for your comment. And just to reassure and confirm yourself and the citizens who may have the same concern, is that the funding that we are spending in all areas was approved in the budget this fiscal budget year, and the funds that remain in the budget is still in this fiscal year. We don't spend make budgetary expenses for next year until the next fiscal budget, which is not until it's not implemented until 2025 after this year end, which is March 31st, 2025. So we're just spending this fiscal year, not next fiscal year. Thank you.
Thank you, Finance Minister. And then also, the other question was if we don't have the MNLA this weekend and then the election isn't called. Right. Simply put. All right, Vice President Leclerc.
Hello, everyone. Just want to thank Elder Norman for his prayer this morning. So I was going to make a suggestion. I have heard from our citizens as well that, you know, they want an MNLA and they want an AGA. And I want to say I wasn't on the council last term, but we haven't had an AGA in 8 years, actually, Secretary McCallum, and some of you were on the council then. What I want to suggest is that we move first of all, canceling February 8th and 9th, that was a special MNLA. I agree with that. And I'm wondering if the mover and seconder wouldn't consider moving the MNLA to after the election in June. If the concern is that it's too close to the writ period, why don't we just move it to the next month after the election so that there is no perception of election interference and all of those sorts of things? Because our citizens do want that MNLA. And so if we can't have it in April, let's have it in June after the election. And maybe then we will get a new mandate for constitutional reform. Because I think because we didn't get to the constitutional reform this time, with all of us sitting at the table, we've got an election coming up. I think it'll be the time for our citizens to give us a new mandate on constitutional reform, because we need to get there. And I think all of our citizens have talked about that. I mean, look, after the last MNLA, I had hundreds and hundreds of our citizens reaching out about sort of, where is our voice now? We gave you our voice in constitutional reform. We expected that was the job that you were going to get done. And our MNLA didn't, unfortunately. So I'm suggesting a friendly amendment not to cancel our spring MNLA, but put it over to June. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President. Richard is going to
Excuse me,
respond.
Chair.
Vice President, sorry, yes, Melissa Langen.
I don't think Minister Friesen understood what I was asking. If we don't have an MNLA before March 31st, then come April 1st, when our new budget starts, that's what I was asking about. What's going to happen then?
Oh,
Thank you.
I can speak to that, President Langen. So our dollars continue to flow. We would operate within the existing approved budget. Our funds do not cease as of March 31st without an approved budget from the Legislative Assembly, and generally we do it after. Now, if I could respond to Vice President's request or suggestion, sorry, if I may, I think June would be complicated just due to the fact that there's onboarding with the new council and then calling of the election, and they'll want to have, you know, the motions that need to take place in terms of speakers, you know, the agenda and all of that. And generally that needs to take some time. So I know July is a busy month, but would you be willing to perhaps look at early July? I know that we've got Batosh, but if we could do early July, I believe that would be enough time for the new council to be onboarded and be able to have their say, you know, for that Legislative Assembly. But early July would be possible.
Yeah, and I think that would be great. I mean, there's going to be a new mandate for all of who get elected next term, and so I think a fresh start with whoever is sitting at the table. I think July. I would agree with that. And I think it would be perfect timing because it's just before our huge cultural celebration. So I just throw that out to the mover and seconder.
Minister Friesen?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, VP Leclerc, for your suggestion. I am in favor of amending the resolution to include right either the end of June or beginning of July to have the MNLA, the first MNLA of 2025. I would be in favor of that. And thank you for the suggestion, VP Leclerc.
Okay, I'm just gonna give Heather a minute here to make that sentence in there. Oh, President McCallum, are you okay with the friendly amendment?
Definitely not.
You're not friendly. You're not good with the amendment.
You're not friendly.
You're not friendly.
I'm not a very friendly guy, no. No, I agree with it in regards to having an early assembly, and I think it's something new, and it's something right after the election. It's something maybe people will embrace to be able to give us some ideas in regards to what their thoughts are moving forward. A new mandate, absolutely, yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. So further be it resolved, confirms that an in-person MLA will be scheduled for the last week of June or first week of July. Do you need any more on that line there, Matt?
That'll conflict with Canada Day, so I would recommend setting like either June 27th or the week after in July.
The date
July.
Oh, wait,
July 5th?
a lot of
That-
people take an extended long weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, the way it works out is June 27th and 28th is right before Canada Day. So Canada Day is a Tuesday.
It's a Wednesday. Oh, Tuesday.
There'll be a
sorry.
lot of people who take like an extended by taking off the Monday. So I would say you'd probably get more interest if you did it on the weekend of July the 5th and 6th.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
I'm, sorry, Mr. Chair, I'm good with that change. July, 4th, 5th, and 6th for the, MNLA, the first MLA of 2025.
President McCallum,
Yes.
comfortable with 4th, 5th, 6th July? Okay, so we will put that amendment in there. Thank you very much for working that. And then back to the speakers list. Last person before we vote, Minister Gervais.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted some clarification. A lot of my questions have been asked and answered already. So I just needed clarification regarding, I think, was it Matt or Richard that had said we don't need to pass the budget in April? As long as it gets passed, there's going to be no stoppage in funding and so on and so forth. So I have that question. So I just want that clarified because that's not what we've been informed prior to. We have been informed that if budgets don't get passed by a certain date, funding will no longer flow, and if audits don't get passed by a certain date. So could you just clarify that, Matt? And then I have one other question.
Okay, thank you, Minister. So the big one for the most important one in terms of, approvals for flow of funding is the approval of the audited financial statements by the Provincial Métis Council. The Provincial Métis Council can still review and vote on the current year's budget in March. And that would be, enough to kind of like keep things going and provide some interim direction. And ratification of that budget by the Assembly would happen in July in this instance if this amended motion were to pass. And so it wouldn't be, as late as it was in 2021 with that ratification happening in November. It would, and the election period, I guess, would create a little bit of a period of inactivity. So it's getting better in terms of the date, but yeah, as long as the PMC reviews and approves, we're fine to keep going, and MNLA just needs to ratify.
Thank you, Matt. You had one more question there, Minister Gervais?
Yes, and it kind of pertains to this, but actually it doesn't pertain, sorry, it doesn't pertain to some of the finances, but it does pertain to the date. And I think Secretary McCallum had mentioned some of those specific dates that are required according to our Elections Act, vis-a-vis Constitution. So I think we need to clarify today what those dates are and leading up to the actual,
On elections.
yeah, because exactly, I think
It's the way that.
we need to be very careful because it's the perception of things. I will agree that we don't need an MNLA where, you know, everybody's going to be out there campaigning or the perception of it. So I think we need to look at some of the different events that we have coming up as well. And that's that April 19th date.
Okay, so hold on a sec.
Has somebody got the Elections Act up there so we can act?
There's a whole, Mr. Gervais, there's a whole presentation on the election after the C92 update. So we'll talk about the election then.
Oh, okay. And
Oh,
and ensuring that there are not events within that, I think, 35-day period.
It's 30 days.
Okay, can we, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I'm just gonna, point of order. We have a motion on the floor.
Yes.
We're going to be discussing elections probably at great length. Can we move this discussion to that point?
Yes,
and deal
that's-
with this motion, please?
Yes, thank you. All right, so that's the end of the conversation. I'm going to reread the motion because it has been changed. So everything's the same except for that red part, right? All right, so cancellation of April 4th, 6, 2025 MNLA and February 8, 9, 2025 MNLA. Whereas the Métis Nation Saskatchewan, MNS, recognizes the distinctiveness of Métis identity, culture, values, and language, inclusive of knowledge keepers, Les Vieux Moon, the old ones, youth, women, and distinctive resources, which is incorporated into proposals and decisions of the Provincial Métis Council, PMC. Whereas Article 310 of the Constitution of the Métis Nation Saskatchewan, the Constitution, authorizes the PMC to set the date and place for each sitting of the Métis Nation Legislative Assembly, MNLA. Whereas the Constitution requires the MNLA to meet twice a year, Article 2.6. Whereas at their duly held meeting on November 21, 2023, the PMC set the dates for upcoming sessions of the MNLA, PMC 23-11-21-05. The 3 dates set for 2025 were a spring 2025 MNLA on April 4 to 6, 2025, a fall 2025 MNLA on November 28th to 30th, 2025, and a special MNLA to consider matters of self-government and treaty making on February 8, 9, 2025. Whereas at their duly held meeting on November 19, 2024, the PMC resolved that a special MNLA would be held on January 25, 2025, to set the date and confirm details for the 2025 MNS election for executive and regional representatives, PMC 24-11-18-07. Whereas to allow for a condensed timeline to hold a General Assembly in 2024, the PMC confirmed that the fall 2024 MNLA would be held in Regina, Sask, due to venue availability, PMC 2404-19-07. Whereas holding an MNLA in Regina resulted in cost overruns due to additional fees for items, including travel and hotel costs, and for audio-visual services provided by the venue. Whereas the PMC has affirmed its collective responsibility as the executive branch of the MNS government, which is the authority granted to the PMC in the Constitution, which names the PMC as the cabinet, and that this responsibility includes financial stewardship and governance decisions, 2106-18-07. Whereas an MNS election for the executive and regional representatives is planned for May 24, 2025, pending approval by the MNLA at the January 25, 2025 special MNLA. And whereas the PMC recognizes that convening a session of the MNLA so close to the 2025 MNS election may undermine effective governance and could be perceived as an opportunity for political campaigning. Therefore, be resolved that the Provincial Métis Council approves of canceling the spring 2025 MNLA scheduled for April 4 to 6, 2025 to promote effective governance and prudent fiscal management of the Métis Nation Saskatchewan resources. Further be it resolved that the PMC confirms that an in-person MNLA will be scheduled for July 4 to 6, 2025, with the location to be set at a future date by PMC pending venue availability. Further be it resolved that the PMC approves of canceling the February 8, 9, 2025 special MNLA that was scheduled to consider matters related to treaty making and affirms that this MNLA may be rescheduled when the government-to-government treaty with Canada is ready for ratification. And therefore be it resolved that the PMC confirms that the two MNLAs required by the Constitution of Métis Nation Saskatchewan to be held in 2025 will be in January and November 2025. Dated on this 21 day of January 2025, moved by Mark Friesen, Eastern Region 3, seconded by President Glenn McCallum. Minister Friesen still so moved.
Yes, I do.
President McCallum still so second.
Yes.
Excellent.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Vice
As a
President.
result of the change to further be it resolved that the PMC confirms that an in-person MNLA will be rescheduled for July 4th and so on and so forth, then the last therefore be it resolved has to change.
Yep.
Or just delete it.
Yeah, because they're set already. How's that? July and November?
Except for that we are having a January MNLA like next weekend, virtually. So I think that is redundant.
Yeah, so we just deleted it. Because then there's the two for sure, and then the third once the new executive is elected. Mr. Friesen,
Sure.
still good?
Chair, sorry. I
Yeah.
just want to ask something. Should we not, like, we've got pending venue availability. Should we not put a backup date there, like July 4th to 6th? There's lots of weddings, there's lots of stuff like that going on. Do we need a backup date in there?
They'll come back if they have issues, but they should be good to find a place.
Okay.
So Mr. Friesen, still good with the motion?
I am. There's just an extra word in the new paragraph there. At the end.
And,
Yeah.
okay, we'll just, and further be it resolved. Actually, it's a good word.
Okay. Thank
President
you.
McCallum, you're good?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, can we get the poll up, please, and vote? And, okay. Count. And then it makes it 11 with President McCallum.
Yeah.
So President McCallum has voted in favor of the motion, so that makes it 11 in favor, 4 against, so the motion is passed. Thank you very much. Now we will proceed into what the,
Excuse
Okay.
me, Chair.
yes,
I voted against. Can I have that reflected in the minutes, please? Thank you.
sure, yeah, Mr. McLennan voted against the motion. It is in the minutes. All right, so financial update. Mr. Friesen, presentation on the variance analysis.
Thank you,
8.1.
Mr. Chair. Could I have the presentation brought up on screen, please? I just want to comment before we proceed with the presentation. This is something that we had committed to at the Legislative Assembly and previously in previous Provincial Métis Council meetings. The variance report is active. It is for the last 2 quarters, and where we're at now in real time and what the budget has been suggested and approved is it's just given you an idea of where we're at with expenses, and we're happy to report that we're on target to meet our financial responsibilities and further mitigate any risk to our bottom line or to the budgeted funds available. our funders are very happy with our reporting mechanisms and reporting on time. Very pleased to report that we still are in very good standing with Government of Canada, and the audited financial statements that were passed at the fall MNLA by the Provincial Métis Council have been submitted, and I can happily report that everything is on par as we move forward, as we move this government forward. I would like to also introduce to you, I hope Echo is online here. Echo Kin, she is the new director for finances, and she's doing a great job. She's pulled her team together and has come full circle with her responsibilities in finance. I'm very pleased to be working with her, and we're happy to have her on board. So without further ado, I would like and with the help of our senior management team as well, we have been able to develop or create the report. And if you could just hold your questions until after the presentation is completed, we'd appreciate that. So thank you very much. So Matt, are you going to go through, or is Echo? Or would you like me to?
No, thank you, Minister. Echo is with us, I believe. Echo, are you there? Oh, she may have been, we might have lost her. Let me try again here. Sorry, I'll just need 2 minutes. Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Just a note, I just checked and we don't have any of this documentation in our meeting binder.
So.
Okay, they're gonna upload it, Minister. Thank you.
Thank you. It would have been nice to have it prior to, so that some of us could prepare. Thank you.
I'll make a comment to that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, please.
I apologize, PMC colleagues. The variance was just sent for approval and review late last night, and we didn't get it into the binder for this evening. However, you will have access to it. You will have a copy of it shortly.
You know what? I'm going to.
I just read.
We're just trying to get the link to the person who's gonna speak to this, so if you had just a little bit of patience, appreciate, thank you.
So I have a suggestion, Chair. Can we take a 5-minute break while we get everything uploaded and Echo gets the link?
You betcha.
Are you at a personal laptop?
Okay, just 5-minute break while we're uploading stuff, so at 11:30.
She's here.
9. Oh, hold on, sorry, we do have our person here online. We can get at her.
Uploaded in our binders?
Oh, that's gonna be coming. They're doing it as we speak.
You're in. Okay, perfect. It's up on the overhead now. And Minister did the quick kind of introduction. So yeah, the floor will be yours to go through your presentation. Okay, thanks, Echo.
All right, Echo, you're up. Is she muted? And the binder has been updated, folks. It doesn't have a microphone on her thing.
She has to give Zoom permission to access her microphone on.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to request and support Wendy's request for a 5 minutes so that you guys can organize your technical issues there.
Yeah, at 11:40 we'll begin, and by then you'll have the thing uploaded. So 11:40, 5-minute break.
Thank you, Chair.
Phone, so you have to click yes on that.
Would you like honey?
If you want to log out and log back in.